Support everything we do at MWP News by visiting co-fi.com/MWP News. Every donation helps us stay independent. For breaking entertainment news, reviews, and more, check out MWPnews.com. If you love games, head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@MWP for reviews and gameplay. Links for all of this will be in the show notes, as well as links to the other podcasts. Thank you for your continued support. Good morning and welcome to the Backlog Files. I am Adam. It is Tuesday. And it's cold out. Who'd have thunk? It's November and it's now cold out. So what we have today is we're going to talk about out of the park baseball. Which, let's give a little background on this because I don't know what I expected with this game, but it kind of wasn't what I ended up playing. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because one of the things when you do a video game review, and I want to clarify this, I saw some discourse about it, is you have to set aside your personal feelings about what the gameplay mechanics are, what you wish they could be, and whether or not you like that idea to begin with, because that's not fair to the game to review it and be like, well, I don't like this idea, so you're not engaging with it on the level that it's presenting, which is what you're supposed to do when you do a review. The point in all of this is, I've talked about my love for sports games. I've been playing sports games for as long as I've been playing video games. Baseball on the PlayStation, the original PlayStation back in the day. I had World Series Baseball on the Sega Genesis. I used to play that. I wasn't very good at it because I was like 3 or 4 years old. But World Series Baseball and all of that. And if it's a sports game, I will, give it a shot if I can get it at a reasonable price. Especially considering that, for me, I know it's existed before that, but around 2004, 2005, we started to see the advent of more realistic graphics and what games could be, and what these gameplay modes could be. So, MVP Baseball 2005 and, ESPN NFL 2K5, both of which had these owner modes that I really enjoyed, and I played the fuck out of. They were, basically, the general idea of an owner mode in the game is you get to play every game, but you run the team. You get to pick what the stadium does, you get to pick, you want to relocate the team, you want to, all that kind of cool stuff is all well within your control. And these modes have gotten deeper as the years have gone on, even as things like, what's it called? Even as companies like, EA have kind of not gutted it, but kind of stagnated them a little bit, in favor of things like, in favor of things like Ultimate Team. But the idea of running the team is something that's always kind of cool, and I always have fun with that. So, out of the park baseball is something that I'm like, okay, let's give this a shot, because it's basically just owner mode. Or more accurately, GM mode. And it is involved. It is basically Spreadsheet, the video game. And it's one of the things where it's I consider myself a passive baseball fan. It's just, I don't have the depth of knowledge of baseball that I thought I did to be able to make this game work. So basically what you do is you take control of a team, you pick a team, and I decided I'm going to do the easy thing, and I'm going to, or not the easy thing, the thing I always do, whenever I play any of these games, I pick the worst team in the league, and I'm going to fix this team. The difference is that there's no gameplay mechanic. There is a gameplay mechanic of playing in the game, because each game you get to simulate, and as the manager, you get to call who does, like, you know, what happens in each at bat. Okay, do you want to pitch around? Do you want to pitch directly to? Do you want to intentionally hit? Do you want to intentionally walk? Do you want to check? Like, that kind of thing. So inherently, you're going to still have that. And then when you're batting, it's like, do you want to swing for contact? Do you want to hit and run? Do you want to, you know, bunt for a hit? That kind of thing. So all of that said, this is a game that requires a depth of knowledge of baseball that picking up the show does not, because the show is just, you know, here are the controls to simulate the in-game stuff, and then you control everything else on the outside. But if you're good at the in-game portion of it, you will offset. Because this is playing off of a spreadsheet, using the stats of the players that have been, you know, predetermined, you kind of just have to, you know, hope a little bit as you're playing. Now, you can do things like you can pull up from the development league, you can pull up from AAA, you can pull up from, you know, you can internationally scout. Like, the depth of which that this game simulates running a baseball team is impressive, and I really appreciate that. It's the kind of thing where it's like, if you see this and you look at this, it's like, this is a game where, I mean, really it's my own fault because I decided to try and do the same thing I always do, rather than do the easy thing, which would have been pick the Dodgers and just try to get to a second World Series. But it's kind of interesting, and I think that's kind of the thing that's kind of fun about this. It's just managing a team, letting it, you know, letting it develop, trying to become the best, and taking advantage of what's at your disposal to do that. And it's just, there are no difficulty sliders, which is another thing that I find really interesting about this. It's, you know, the game starts and you are, you know, you're just kind of there. The difficulty slider is which team do you pick to make better. And the other thing I like is the customization options for the league. You can rename everything. You can rename the various teams. You can rename, you can re-city them. You can put them wherever you want in the world. You can set up, you know, all of that stuff is doable. And you can even customize playoff options. Like when I did the playoffs, I changed it to a 16-man tournament round robin, or a 16-team tournament round robin. I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, I did really appreciate this game. I think that this is a very fun game, even if it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. I would recommend, if you like these kind of simulators, this is very well handled, and it plays very smoothly. All of that works very well for it. So check out, Check out Out of the Park Baseball 26. It's available on PC. I don't know if there's a console edition. I know Football Manager, there's a console edition. I don't know if there's a console edition of this. But this is definitely worth playing. Now, we still have time, so I want to talk about something else. Last night, I was looking to what we're going to do next week. And next week, we're going to do Winter's Burrow, a cute little indie game coming out that I've been seeing clips of, and it's been showing up on Steam. And then I see this, and I'm like, it looks like a Maurice Sendak novel. I'm very interested in this. Cozy survival kind of game where you're a little mouse dude. And it is, so I was looking up, and I go on Steam, and it's like, oh, it's not available for pre-order yet. It comes out the 12th, which is tomorrow, but it's not available for pre-order yet. So I was like, oh, that's weird. How much is it going to cost? So I know to set that money aside in the budget. And for those who are curious, it's $20. But when I went to look up how much this was going to cost, I did not know that the Gamergate community was still as active as I would have thought it was. And I fell into I saw it was a Reddit thread about this game. And I guess, for those who don't know what Gamergate is, there was a whole thing about how, it really was just a misogynistic thing about how women shouldn't be in games, and it's like, why are we catering games to women? And it really is like the No Girls Allowed clubhouse that like a 5-year-old has, but on the internet, and then leading into a presidential election, and now exactly where we are right now. So what this is, because Steve Bannon has said he built the first campaign on Gamergate, and he saw what Gamergate could do, and he saw what, you know, that hate train for Ghostbusters could do, and he put, you know, he based the entire, how are we going to get him elected? Oh, well, here's what we'll do, we'll use the same thing. So, and it worked. But the point in all of this is, I didn't know this community was still this active, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, why the fuck does this game get this vitriol? And apparently what happened is, there is a consulting firm, and again, these people don't understand what a consulting firm is. There's a consulting firm that consulted on this game, that has consulted on a few games, that they accuse of including forcing DEI into the game, which is, again, code for, you know, I'm a racist. So they get upset about that, and they wanted to bomb the Steam forums for this game. And they got so mad that the developers locked down the Steam forum for this game. They got so mad at that. And it's just like, someone in the comments, and this is the thing that I wanted to bring up, was someone in the comments said, like, yeah, if I'm a developer, like, does it not make sense for me to lock the, you know, the forum behind people who have actually paid for the game? Because, like, purely on its face, if I have two people complaining, one who has not and will not buy the game, and one who has bought the game, like, wouldn't it be smarter for me as a developer to listen to the one who had bought the game? And then he says, like, I thought the whole point of this whole thing was that developers should only listen to people who actually pay, and not people who just loudly complain. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what this is. What they claim this started out as, but that was never the case. It was always disingenuous. I mean, that's the thing I wanted to address with this, is that it's like, you're acting like this comment, I think, is one of the things where it's like, yeah, this is the point we're trying, like, you're trying to say that, like, oh, well, we don't want people who don't buy the games to do that. But here's the thing, especially for cozy games and games with character creators. I saw someone cite that, like, I haven't played it yet, but the remake of Grand Bazaar apparently lets you pick your pronouns and lets you dress in any outfit regardless of gender, and they were upset about that. And it's like, here's the thing, specifically on the front of video games with a character creator, does it not benefit to allow that option to everyone? Like, does that not, like, is that not something that is a benefit for them to get more people to buy it? Because here's the thing, if you're claiming you're not going to buy the game because you can pick your pronouns, or you're not going to buy the game because you can put on a dress if you're a guy, these are all entirely optional things that if you don't interact with, you will not encounter. Like, I believe in Legends ZA you can do the same thing. I think Legends, oh, what an asshole. I think Legends ZA, you can dress however you want. Like, you can put on any outfit regardless. I think that's the way it works. I haven't, and this is the point, I haven't tried, so I don't know. But I seem to recall seeing that as part of, like, the big upgrade of the character creator, is that it's like, literally you can put on anything. Like, any outfit, regardless of gender, you can put on whatever you want. And it's like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, it's not something that, like, I don't think I changed my outfit once in the game, and that was because the story demanded it. And then I changed it back to the original outfit. But like, you have this character creator. Like, if you are a, if you are a developer, does it not make sense to make the game as accessible to as many people as possible? Does it, like, if you're trying to sell something, period, full stop, does it not make sense to tell people, hey, we're going to, we're going to, what's over here? Like, we're gonna have things that you like here. Like, no matter what it is, you're going to want to appeal to as many people as possible. So the idea that, like, oh, well, now we gotta have, we don't want them to do this in this game. But, like, you have to hear me like, oh, let's boycott. Who gives a fuck? You weren't gonna play it to begin with. Like, if you were gonna play it to begin with, you're not gonna buy it, and it's like, then who cares? Like, and all you're gonna do, you're gonna go and fuck up the forums and be like, oh, well, they had this consulting firm, and again, they have no idea what a consulting firm does. Like, this consulting firm is here, and they're going to do it. It's like, I'm just baffled by the nonsense here, and it's just like, I didn't know this was still going on until yesterday. I saw that on Reddit, and I was like, huh, that's weird. That they're this invested in a game that, like, I saw the trailer and I'm like, how could anyone be pissed off at this? Like, this just looks like an absolute delight. Like, everything about this just looks cute and fun and cozy, and it's like you're a little mouse who's got to bake pies, and he's got to knit, and he's got to go out and get supplies. It just looks very cute, and it looks like a children's book, and it's like everything about this is just like, oh, okay, let's give this a shot. I mean, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about it next week, because it comes out tomorrow, but everything about this just kind of appealed to me. And do you know how many games I go through on the Steam on the Steam Discover queue? Because that's how I find a lot of the indie games that we go with on this, is the Steam Discover. That's how we found LiDAR Exploration. That's how we found Bookbound. I looked through both the fests, like when they do Next Fest and stuff like that, and I'll go through the Discovery queue. I'll just spend a few hours and just discover, and just go through, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, we'll do this game, and this game, and then we'll just stagger them out. And that's the thing where it's like, you don't understand what people are trying. Like, I don't I'm just kind of at a loss for words with this whole thing. There's a few things over the last 2 days, but we're not going to get into that here. But yeah, I mean, long story short, you will be able to play this game on the Switch and on Xbox. I think it's on PlayStation and on Steam. It is on Game Pass, and I know people don't have Game Pass anymore because the price has gone up. I've kept Game Pass because it's cost effective for me for reviewing games. So we'll be talking about that next week, because I'm going to download it tomorrow on my lunch break. But we will wrap up there for today. Our next episode will be Winter Burrow, which is that indie game we just talked about at length. But until that episode, have a great rest of your week.